What is up, cool kids? My name is Gavin, I'm ThatCoolTrainer, and with Pokemon Sun and Moon coming out in literally 2 days, I thought that I would do what pretty much every other Pokemon YouTuber is doing, and show my team for Sun and Moon when it comes out on Friday. Unfortunately, I thought that I had the capability to do a Let's Play of Sun and Moon. Unfortunately, that plan kind of fell through because my Wi-Fi provider here at my college sucks, and I cannot stream from a 3DS that I bought on YouTube to my computer like I thought I would be able to. So that kind of stinks, but I'm still going to do videos about my thoughts, updates on my team, which I might just include in my Let's Play Pokemon Red if it's not done by then. But without further ado, let's get started. Now, I'm going to start off with my starter, and like pretty much everybody else, I will be picking Decidueye. Just look at it. Decidueye is easily one of, in my opinion, the best designed Pokemon out there. And the fact that it goes from a grass flying to a grass ghost is so cool to me. It is the only starter ever to go from one dual type to another. And they just released... Sorry, my mouse glitched out a little bit there. They just released the new Z moves, the signature Z moves for all of these starters, and Decidueye is still my favorite. I really can't get over how well designed this is, and there's so many punny nickname possibilities out there. There really is. So obviously that will be my starter. Oh. And with my teams, I try to go with a combination of one grass, one fire, one water, one electric, one psychic, and one flying. That usually rounds out pretty much everything. I haven't really ever tested to see how well the coverage for that is, but it seems to suit my needs between a flyer, a surfer, waterfall, all that stuff, but that's probably not even going to be necessary in this gen because of the Pokemon ride and all that stuff. But anyway, my next one is my only Alola form on this list, and that is Alolan Marowak. I think they got this design so perfectly. It's still Marowak, so you can still tell it's Marowak, unlike Exeggutor, which gets weird. And even though I don't hate Alolan Exeggutor like a lot of other people do, Alolan Marowak is still my favorite Alola form. And I know having two ghosts leaves me so weak to my rivals Incineroar when we get that far in the game. But I just love its design, the fact that it lights its bone on fire by rubbing on its forehead right there, and that they even give it a forehead mark where it does that is amazing to me. And I think I could really use its abilities. Lightning Rod, maybe if they gave it some higher special attack than normal Marowak, because it'll probably get things like Flamethrower or Shadow Ball, which obviously are special. And Curse Body, if it keeps its good defense, and it gets hit with a physical contact move, that move might be disabled. There's a third chance of it being disabled. You see, like, I think between the two of them, Alolan Marowak is so much better designed. That brings me to my next Pokemon, which is also on pretty much everybody's list. That is Lycanroc. I think, and I will be getting Sun, so I will be getting the midday form. And I think Lycanroc is going to be a lot more useful competitively than in a playthrough, because that priority rock type move is going to be such a game changer. It's going to really end Talonflame more than the nerf that Gale Wings just got already did. If you didn't know, Gale Wings now only works if you are at full health, which Talonflame almost never is. But this will really put the nail in the coffin, being quad weak to it, but having this thing with Stealth Rocks and that priority rock type move, I really should know the name of it, but that's neither here nor there. I love its design. It looks like it's going to be really fast, looks like it's going to be really powerful, not very great defensively. And Lycanroc, honestly, is why I picked Sun over Moon, because I don't mind Lycanroc's Midnight form, but to me, it looks, even for Pokemon, it looks kind of cartoonish, honestly. I think Midday form looks so much better, looks like an actual wolf, like it's supposed to. And see, my last Pokemon that I am for sure gonna have on my team, again, like pretty much everybody else, is Salandit and its evolution. Poison Fire is a type that I've wanted for a long time. I really thought they were gonna make an Alolan Weezing and make it Poison Fire, since it gets a lot of fire type moves like Flamethrower, Will-O-Wisp, and Fire Blast anyway. But what really sets it for me is its ability. The fact that you can now poison, steel, and poison type Pokemon is huge. Maybe not so much in a playthrough, but competitively, being able to stall out things like Aggron, things like Weezing, and other really big bulky mons that otherwise can't be poisoned is huge. And its design. It looks really crafty. It looks like it could be a dark type, but I really like that they made it a poison type instead. Its evolution, I will try to put a picture of it on there, but the fact that it turned it into some kind of raptor thing, I really love. I really, really love it. So those are the 4 that I really think I'm definitely going to have. And the rest are just kind of toss-ups to fill in whatever I feel like at the time in the game. My first 2 are right here, Mudsdale and Beware, which I will get to in a second. I love Mudsdale's design. Horses are really, really underdone in Pokemon, I think. I'm pretty sure before Mudsdale and Mudbray, I think it was only Ponyta and Rapidash. But I love its design. It's got these cool little leg warmers, it's got dreads. I think it really fits well with like an island type theme. And its new ability is also huge. Its new ability basically says, when it's hit with an attack, Pokemon's defense goes up by 1. It doesn't even say when it's hit by physical contact, when it's hit by an attack. So I could see that being really big in doubles, where you hit it with a really weak move and its defense goes up by 1 automatically. I think that would be great. Those are the pro strats right there, everybody. And on to Beware. I know I kind of ripped it a little bit in my video about things I want Nintendo to change, which if you haven't checked out, definitely feel free to. Although it was my first video, I think it was a decent video. But like I said in that video, I definitely could see it being a fairy fighting instead of a normal fighting, because I think normal type's kind of useless. But I'm not all that mad about it, because normal fighting have almost perfect neutral coverage. The only thing that it doesn't hit is Ghost, which I'm sure this thing gets Foresight or Odor Sleuth for anyway. And its new ability is good and bad, in the fact that it's basically fur coat, like Furfrou gets, which it has the damage from physical contact moves, but it also makes it weak to fire type moves, which gives it so many common weaknesses. It gives it fire, flying, psychic, and fighting for the most common types in the entire game. So that is really unfortunate. But with the right stats, like it shows right here with it just punching a tree and breaking it in half and hugging a tree in half, I really think that if its attack is good enough and it's bulky enough, which it looks like it should be, it will be pretty competitive. And this next one is depending on how early I get it in the game, honestly. And that is Wishy-Washy School Form. I know I shouldn't really choose between Wishy-Washy School Form and Wishy-Washy, I think it's Solo Form. And it doesn't even really say how it changes form. It says Wishy-Washy can change form in battle to their school form under certain circumstances, or certain conditions, I'm sorry. So I don't even know what those are, honestly, but look at this thing. I almost always get a Gyarados in my Let's Plays, or my playthroughs, because they're just reliable power, and they're a good water type. Even though it's a physical attacking Pokemon, it still makes good use of Surf, and obviously makes great use of Waterfall in the later gens after the physical special split. And I really think Like it says that even Gyarados flee from Wishy-Washy school form. And I think that really says something. I think it would be really useful, but looking at Wishy-Washy solo form, that's kind of a big detractor for me. But other than that, I think Wishy-Washy is a really cool Pokemon. If we can figure out a way to make it stay in school form for a lot longer of a time, I think that would be definitely one really big source of power on my team. The other one that I have on my team is Wimpod, and its evolution. When it first came out, I really thought Wimpod was garbage. I thought it was going to be just like Stunfisk, where just a garbage Pokemon, nobody's ever going to use it, outside of just some kind of weird niche that it might get. But with all of the data mine stuff from the demo, this thing's evolution is a monster. The typing, assuming that it stays bug water type when it evolves, is kind of a detractor for me. And what level it evolves at, maybe it'll be like Magikarp and just be garbage until it evolves relatively early. So hopefully that will be the case. And unless it evolves at something ridiculous like 50, I might end up using it instead of Wishy-Washy for my water type. And my last one that is a toss-up depends on if it evolves at all, and that is Komala. I really like Komala's design. I think it's really cute. I think it has a lot of potential if it does evolve. Unfortunately, based on the data mine stuff, which is supposedly the entire Alolan Pokedex, it does not evolve, which I think is really sad. I think I'll probably end up catching one anyway, even if I don't use it. But I totally love its ability, which would be totally awesome if it evolved into a pretty physical Pokemon, but so it wouldn't be shackled by burn or paralysis like a lot of other physical threats sometimes can be. So if it evolves, I think it could be a pretty good competitive Pokemon, even if it's not that great in a playthrough. But right now, seeing as I don't think it will, I probably will not be using it, even if I do catch it. So that is my team that I will be using when Sun and Moon comes out in just 2 days. So if you guys have any thoughts about my team or what your guys' team are going to be, drop those down in the comments below, or feel free to talk to me about it on Twitter at ThatCoolTrainer. I am so hyped, just like everybody else is. I think this is shaping up to be one of, if not the best pair of Pokemon games ever. So I am super hyped, and I hope you are too. So until next time, smell you later.